So look, let's address that now, y'all. You see, it has been brought to my attention the elephant is in the room, and the elephant's been looking, and the elephant is Mother Day pagan. Now, here's my whole dissertation on it, or my point about it. You know, the book do say honor your mother and your father, you got no problem with that. But why is it that this occasion comes from this type of situation? It's on Sunday. It's only held on Sunday. Mm-hmm. And it comes from a people whose source of worship is the Roman beast, the Roman pagan emperor Constantine, who established Sunday. Now you get, I want to go here back to Rome because I want to bring the history of this and bring it on up, y'all. See, I pulled this up. You can Google this, Mother Day in ancient Rome and today. The ancient Romans also celebrated a spring festival by the name of Hilera in honor of the mother goddess Sibyl, some 250 years before Christ was born. Later, Christians, and this is the pagan Christians, Greeks honored mothers associated with the feast of Yapapani. So that was your pagan Christians, okay? But what is the origin of the original origin of Mother's Day? See, when you look at the people that set this up, they disregard the commandments of God for their own what? Traditions. Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's stuck on Sunday, even Father's Day. It's stuck on what? Sunday. It don't move from what? Sunday, which is a direct opposition to the keeping of the commandments of what? God. Mm-hmm. So I would never sit up here and say or condone Mother's Day is a righteous thing to do. I say, why is it on Sunday? And we just read in history, because this thing got, we kind of spoke about it on the, in our orientation and it came up. And I had this information, plus I had got went into some discussions, and we had seen several other things break out because clearly when you understand that Mother's Day is a Roman tradition. Right. That's why it's on Sunday. It don't float on the week. It don't go on no other days of the week. It's always on Sunday, like what they call Father's Day is always on what? Sunday is always on a Roman day to worship the what? Sun. So how can we possibly condone it? Then it's not of God. Right. Or the source thereof is not from those who worship the what? True and living God. Right. So Rome always had their Mother's Day in ancient Rome. Now, if you go to Jeremiah 44 and 15, Israel had a problem. They was worshiping the Queen of Heaven. Mm-hmm. The Lord, they know the people said in Jeremiah 44 and 15. Listen to this, y'all. I'm going to read this. Yeah, Jeremiah 44 and 15. And then you even have a sect of people that's out here thinking there's a God, the mother. Yeah, I had to deal with that. So I'm like, wow. And we go sit up there and say, Mother's Day is good? Are you serious? You honor their mother any day. Mm-hmm. Any day. But why is it fixated on Sunday? To me, that's what makes it, huh?
I said that's the same thing with Christmas, Halloween, all that other stuff.
Yeah, but see, here's the thing, because Satan is real crafty. He know you love your mother and your father. He know that. So he's trying to slip in under the radar. Mm. Like I told my brother, for someone to confess to believe the commandments of God and to condone Mother's Day, you are a leavening agent. You professing to know God, but you deny him, being abominable and disobedient and reprobate to every good work. Because you want to mix people who set this up that don't believe in the commandments of God. That's why they're there on Sunday in the first place. Then they turn around and make up something to get you all emotionally entangled.
True.
Because Satan is crafty. And then we supposed to what? Condone it? Accept it? The book said little leavening do what? Leavening a whole lump. So this queen of heaven, this mother God thing, this queen of heaven, look, Jeremiah 45:15, look. Then all the men which knew that their wives had burned incense unto other gods.
44 and 15?
Yeah. And all the women that stood by, a great multitude, even all the people that dwelt in the land of Egypt, and pastors answered Jeremiah, saying, as for the word that thou hast spoken unto us in the name of the Lord, we would not hearken unto thee. And what the world is getting off into, or people getting off into Mother's Day, what about the commandments of God? You will find these people that are offered to Mother's Day. Are you offered to God? Who you will serve God, or you so into your mother that you will sit up here and condone a day inside of worshiping your mother or putting mother on the pedestal to the extent where you disregard the commandments of God. Like they said, look, we would not hear that word spoken to us in the name of the Lord. We would not harm the watchers. But we will certainly do whatsoever goes forth out of our own mouth to burn incense unto the queen of heaven.
Wow.
And to pour out drink offerings unto her, as we had done, we and our fathers, our kings and our princes in the cities of Judah. So this was an Israel problem? Yes, it was. And in the streets of Jerusalem, for they had plenty of victuals and were well and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the queen of heaven and to pour out drink offerings unto her, we have wanted all things and have been consumed by the sword and by the famine. And when we burn incense to the queen of heaven, so they're going on these carnal things that they feel as confidence in them. And notice, and pour out drink offerings unto her. We did make our cakes to worship her and pour our drink offerings unto her without our meat. Now I want to just further go down this thing, because you got people that's into God the mother. And they condone this Mother Day thing. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, y'all.
Really?
Check this out.
Really?
Yeah, man, I know. That's why I want, like, Matthew 15 chapter. Because when you go into history and you look at this God mother, this mother God stuff, Israel had a problem. They call her the queen of heaven. So, yeah, Matthew 15 chapter. And the Lord even told you right here about traditions of me. Matthew 15, and because this is the thing that they had made up to honor their father or their mother, and this is among Sabbath day keepers, y'all. Remember now, this is Matthew 15 chapter. The Sunday Christians didn't show up to 321 AD. And this tradition was among Israel, and especially among the Pharisees. And I just want to go right into this. Then came Jesus and the scribes and the Pharisees, this is verse 1, which were in Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the traditions of the elder? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said, why do you transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? And Mother's Day is a tradition here in America. But again, it's always been on a what? Sunday, y'all. Are people that don't believe in keeping the what? Commandments of God. Mm-hmm. But God commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father and mother, let him die to death. Ye say, here come that leavening, y'all. Mm-hmm. Whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift. So now it done got complicated now. Now they set up and set aside a day as a gift to mom. Well, what about the rest of you? You should be honoring her, every day. You should be loving your mother and honoring your father. That is the commandments of God. We just read that, ain't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So don't you just be running up, giving flowers on Mother's Day? Are you serious? She should have got a flower last week, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, 6 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So the essence, if I'm saying anything, is got a problem with it. You should have a problem with it because it's strictly on a Sunday that some man gonna tell you that's when you honor your mother. And then gonna turn around and say in June, that's when you honor your father. You following the commandments of what? Men, and you doing the same thing is you coming up, but they say, but you say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, it is a gift by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me. And honor not his father or mother, he shall be free. In other words, see, I do this on Mother's Day, so that makes me in good graces. No.
Right. It's true.
So I can't condone that. Bcog don't promote that. In true ministry of God, don't condone Mother's Day and Father's Day. We don't stand up there and say, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Oh, really? Leavening agent. Leavening, beware. Because a little leaven do what? Leaven the whole lump. Now look what the Lord said. And honor not, and you honor not his father or his mother shall be free. Thus have you made the commandments of God of none effect by your traditions.
Yeah. We can clearly see that.
And it's clearly said on Sunday by a people that do not honor the commandments of God. Why? For their own traditions. They make the commandments of God of none effect by their tradition. And that's just a part of what they do. What's the rest of what they do? The same ones that get off into Mother's Day, the same ones that get off into Sunday worship, they get off until Christmas, they get off to Easter eggs and bunny rabbits and Sunday resurrection and Good Friday and Halloween and all these man-made alleged holidays that they tend to throw toward God. They're making the traditions they're making the commandments of God of none effect by their what? Traditions. And look what the Lord called them. You hypocrites. They go to leavening.
Mm-hmm.
What did Isaiah prophesy? You saying, this people draw nigh to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me. But in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men. We know what that encompasses, y'all. So I just wanted to speak on this mother thing emphatically and directly with the enlightenment of this new information, because I just pulled this up after I got this one yesterday. Because when I saw Mother's Day in ancient Rome, I'm like, oh, okay, we got something solid. Then my case has always been, why it got to be on Sunday? Are people that don't regard the commandments of God. Are people that are offered to the traditions of who? Men. And I'm on the Sabbath day and I'm supposed to condone that?
Right.
Then I might as well keep my mouth off of what? Christmas and Easter.
Right.
I might as well leave that alone too. If I think Mother's Day is good, then y'all won't hear nothing about BCOD talking about Christmas is pagan.
Right.
I ain't got no right to talk about that. If I think Mother's Day is good, any minute that think Mother's Day is good, they need to keep their mouth off from Christians. Celebrating Christmas, celebrating Easter. Leave them alone. Because you condoning their tradition. You condoning what they're doing. Which is making the commandments of God of what? Non-effect by their what? Own tradition. So because of the source of Mother's Day being on Sunday, it is pagan. That is my clear position on that. Anybody got any further questions or discussion on that? Hey, say on. Say on.
I was just gonna add.
Yeah.
I was just gonna.
What
What was that, brother?
I was saying, none of this side is very clear to me.
Amen.
Amen.
I mean, we know you love your mama, but we're not gonna let Satan slip in, drop that leavening agent on you. Woo, there you go.
Because I was gonna say anything that has origination tied to any pagan god, that's violating the first commandment. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Right.
So seeing that Rome is like the mother church written in Revelation, and all her many daughters and all these different things. There's different gods that's attached to all these different holidays that with Saint Valentine and Sanhedrin, and which is Halloween, and how you got to die in Halloween to be reborn for the Yuletide in Christmas. And I'm like, all these holidays have a connecting, relationship to all the holidays that's distributed in our modern day world and activities, that people are not realizing the historical background and how it all ties into this, one loop of things and all relational. And I'm like, it was just this year, 2020 of October, where I realized that the Sanhedrin god or worshiping of, that on Halloween was directly connected to Christmas.
Right.
Because you had that whole time where the winter and how the sun travel and all the winter solstice, and how they're waiting for this whole 21-day period, like it's all this time they're waiting because that's like the deadest day in the winter, where everything is dead. Is the sun hasn't traveled back. You don't have the equinox, the equal days, equal number of days, and equal number of nights.
Right. You got the shortest day.
You got the shortest day, so it's like a celebration of when the sun is at its maximum peak in the wintertime. And I'm like, wow, so they all this time thinking that when it's dead in Halloween and the worshiping of the dead and all these people and Sanhedrin, which is the pagan god of that, then come up and deal with Christmas because it's a rebirth, the unconquerable sun, as they call it.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, look at the connection with, it's the same religion, the same people, and it's like nobody's connecting these dots to show you, and then you turn around again with Easter, because that's even before Mother's Day, so I'm just kind of looping everything around how that's supposed to be the fertility god, so now when the sun is the greatest in the sky and all this, and now you have, the God that's supposed to bless, the families and fertilities and all this stuff with Easter. And then, Mother's Day, and like that's, in May and everything, and worshiping the mother God of everyone. And so I guess after she gave birth to all these little children in the fertility, now you got to worship her in May. It's just amazing to see all these connections to
And let me read some more history on this. Those are the celebration of mothers and motherhood can be traced back to the ancient Greeks and Romans, who held festivals in honor of the mother goddess, Rhea and Sybil. But the clearest modern dissident precedent for Mother's Day is the early Christian festival known as Mothering Sunday. Now, if you think about the Roman Catholic Church, it is the what? Mother Church. So when you say Mother's Day and it's always on Sunday, and who gave us Sunday, y'all? It comes from the what? Catholic, which is the Mother Church, and Emperor Constantine was its first ruler, believe it or not, really. He called himself the High Priest. A ball, but out of that comes this what? Mother's Day. Everything about it leads back to what? Roman pagan worship.
Right. And that alone should tell people.
And that alone. But BCOG, we can't condone it. Ministries of God cannot condone this if you're about the commandments of God, which is the first commandment says, thou shalt have no what? Other gods before you. So let me make sure it says, over the time, Mothering Sunday tradition shifted to a more circular holiday, and children would present their mothers with flowers and other tokens of appreciation. This custom eventually faded in popularity before finally merging with the American Mother's Day in the 1930s and 40s. Okay, y'all? So this Mother's Day thing, and then Mother's Day is pagan. We know Father's Day is pagan. Even Jesus said, call on man father. But why is it always on Sunday? Because it's a pagan. It comes from the pagans. And they got their mother and they got their fathers.
Right.
Okay?
So do.
Straight up.
They call you
And
Father John on
yeah, and it ain't the commandments of God that they dealing with, y'all. So that's why I wanted to bring up about this Mother's Day thing. You know, love your mama every day. You know, hey, oh my gosh. Love your mama every day. And love your daddy every day. Honor, keep the commandments. It said, honor thy father and mother, that thy days may be what? Long upon the earth.
Yeah. They didn't put no.
They didn't put no, you gotta give them, you set a day. Because when you sit, again, I like to come all the way back. Well, I got to be on Sunday, man. And I'm going to condone that? Really? Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. So with that being said, yeah, that's the BCOG stance, and I know a couple of other ministries that, you know, adamantly do not support Mother's Day. Okay? So with that being said,